cakes to the inside, and when baked, removed them and supplied their places with others, and so on. To find such places full of frogs when they came to heat them, in order to make their bread, must be both disgusting and disrespecting and distressing in the extreme. Adam Clark's commentary on the Bible, page 101. The frog was considered the theophany of the goddess Hecate, the wife of the creator of the world and the goddess of birth. Um, we read a lot of this. It said, Hec was always shown with the head and body of a frog. Amulets and scarabs worn by Egyptian women to protect them during childbirth would often bear the image of Hec for protection. Hec or Hecate was believed to assist women in childbirth. Consider the irony in the statement that the frogs invaded Pharaoh's bedroom and even jumped on his bed. Frogs was so sacred in Egypt that even the involuntary slaughter of one was often punished by death. So they had to be worshiping them.
Yep.
What do you kill somebody that also they would cut their eyes, shave their eyebrows off, and mourn if somebody's pet cat died? That goes to show they're worshiping these damn animals. Don't fuck out with that madness. Imagine the people of the land as they went out to gather the decaying bodies of the frog and put them into heaps. The fact that Pharaoh entreated Moses to intercede with, they got Jehovah here, Yahweh Bashar, to take away the frog was a sign that he recognized the God of Israel, the power of Israel, as being the author of the plague. Pharaoh realized this was not a natural occurrence. It is very possible that the next plague originated from flies depositing their ova and putrid masses of their frogs.
Yeah, because the Egyptian magicians, am I saying it right?
The Magi's, yeah.
The Magi's and whatever, they was able to mimic all these different plagues, but they wasn't able to take it away. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Moses was able to actually take it away.
Yeah, they could mimic some of the plagues, but through the power of the Lord, Moses was able to take them away.
That's right.
Now I want to read a little about this. It's going to the frog amulets. The frog talisman. I'm gonna jump right to it. I can read up here if you want. It says facts about the ancient Egyptian frog. Matter of fact, facts about the ancient Egyptian frog amulet. The meaning of the talisman of Hecate. It symbolizes mortal life, rebirth, and resurrection. The magical stones and color symbolism of talismans and amulets. Magical protective power of the frog talisman. Good luck and protection. Magical talisman and amulet jewelry. An overview of the amulets, charms, and talismans of ancient Egypt. See it?
And a lot of them they had a thing called the Egyptian blue lily. If you the Egyptian blue lily used to have, the women used to wear the Egyptian blue lily with the frog in the middle of it.
Fact 1. The frog was worn as a protective talisman by both the living and the deceased. Foolishness. Meaning of the frogs. To the ancient Egyptians, the frog symbolized mortal life, rebirth, and resurrection, because the Egyptians didn't understand the concept of hibernation. They thought that when a frog jumped into the dirt and didn't come out for a while, when they showed up, they thought that they was resurrected. That's why the symbol of a frog in the hieroglyphs represents repeating life. Damn dummies. The frog amulet was made of a variety of materials, including gold, copper, different colored stone, ceatite, and glazed colored faience glass, especially in green or turquoise. The frog amulet was worn for its magical powers against sickness, pain, and suffering. It was also given to extend good wishes for the recovery from disease and as a talisman for a long life. Hecate was the ancient Egyptian frog-headed goddess of childbirth. Egyptian women looked to her for protection during childbirth and wore amulets with her image. She was depicted in paintings and statues in human forms with the head of a frog. Hecate was the wife of Khnum, the god of procreation and reproduction, who molded the child in its ka or soul within the womb, giving it the breath of life. We cut that, and then maintained through the spirit, maintained the health of the infant child after birth. Khnum was also a powerful protector of the dead and the god of rebirth and resurrection. As the wife of Khnum, Hecate was associated with resurrection. The frog amulet, when laid upon a mummy, was believed to contain the powers of Hecate. I'm reading kind of fast because we're in the interest of time. The frog amulet was also believed to prevent violation of the tomb. A talisman or an amulet can be described as a religious object consisting of a stone or small item, often inscribed or carved with magical inscriptions, magic signs, magic symbols, formula, or sacred texts. You can go back to the Exodus.
This is Exodus 8:4. And the frog shall come up upon thee and upon thy people and upon all thy servants.
Yeah.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch forth thy hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the water of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt.
And they couldn't stay no. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
And the magicians did so with their enchantment, and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, "Entreat the Lord that he may take away the frogs from me."
I thought the frog represented good luck.
Exactly, and they worshiped them.
And was sacred and all that. Go ahead.
And from thy people, and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifices unto the Lord. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, Glory over me. When shall I entreat for thee, and for thy servants, and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the rivers only?
You know, only one more thing. Then we could finish wrapping it up with this thing with the childbirth. It's a web page. What is it called? Procreation in Ancient Egypt. It says the Egyptians sought to protect their women and labor by magical means. The bricks on which they crouched while giving birth were decorated with depictions of Hathor, and that says the birth brick right here. Let me jump up a little bit. These had to be the midwives of Hecate. She's squatting, the woman squatting down.
And that shows you too that modern day childbirth is
Yeah.
off, because look how she's squatting.
Yeah.
In the ancient world, that's how they did it.
Yep. And it wasn't ain't supposed to be no men there either.
Exactly.
The bricks on which they crouch while giving birth, it just says birth brick. See that picture there? Were decorated with depictions of Hathor. This is Hathor. It says Hathor and Nefertari. I believe this is Hathor on the left. It says with Hathor and other goddesses, and were believed to bestow protection on the mother and baby, just as magical depictions on headrests were hoped to guard the sleeper from evil. It's stupid as hell. Bastet watched over the whole birth process, while Besh looked after the woman in labor, and the seven Hathors after the child in his soul. Childbirth was considered a natural occurrence, even if a somewhat risky one, and like most ordinary activities, above all those concerning women, few sources refer to as. Let me zoom in a little bit. You know, where was I? Right here. Childbirth was considered a natural occurrence, even if a somewhat risky one, and like most ordinary activities, above all those concerning women, few sources refer to its practicalities. The Westcott Papyrus contains a story about a birth, disguised as dancing girls and musicians. The goddess Isis, Nephthys, and Meskenet and Hecate were sent by Re or Ra to assist Rawaz's wife, Rud Dedit, who was pregnant with three future kings. When they arrived at Rawaz's house, they found him in disarray, worried about what looked like a difficult birth. They immediately entered the room of Rud Dedit, locking the door. Hecate hastened the birth, and they delivered Rud Edit of her babies. They cut the umbilical cords, washed them, and placed them on a piece of cloth spread over a brick. The story describes childbirth and the relationship men have typically had with it until the emasculation and feminization of Western males in the recent decades. See that? It's America. So we at
Yep.
Western world. Ancient Egyptian men must have felt inadequate and helpless in the face of imminent childbirth, just as modern men still mostly do, and they were excluded from attending, but they knew what happened behind the closed door. The facts of childbirth were not a secret, which women kept to themselves. We'll go back to that.
Exodus 8:8. And then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, Entreat the Lord that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifices unto the Lord. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, Glory over me. When shall I entreat for thee, and for thy servants, and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the rivers only? And he said, Tomorrow. And he said, Be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Lord our God.
Yeah, can I get some real quick? It's real short. Right, none like unto the Lord our God. This is the book of Psalm 103 and 6. The Lord executed righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed. He made known his ways unto Moses, his acts unto the children of Israel. Which goes into, how the Israelites cried unto the Most High,
Right.
and the Most High had rose up Moses to bring down the Egyptians.